What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and we're here to hang out on this great Friday after this blizzard across the United States. But no, we're here to take questions, talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Of course, Suicide Squad, I do think, will be a pretty big theme today. I do want to talk about the Hogwarts Legacy sales because that was kind of, a pretty big deal yesterday. But anything else you want to ask about, literally, state of play, Sons of the Forest is out. I just made a video on that on my second channel. It's been I think this is a good week. This was a really good week. The last couple of weeks have been dominated, and that's fine, and I was very happy about it, with Hogwarts. But this past week, I'd say, with Suicide Squad and all that stuff, Scream, too, there's been so much stuff to talk about this past 5 days specifically, and I am so happy about it. And hopefully it carries in, because March is a little dead in terms of games, except for, like, Resident Evil. So, hope everybody's doing well. How's everybody doing? Hello. MK12. Yeah, that's dropping literally. So it was yesterday, right? Yesterday, State of Play happens, and then I go to the second channel because I want to do a video there, and I was thinking, I'll cover just the State of Play stuff. But then I was like, well, what else happened today? Obviously, the Metal Gear and Castlevania news story, which was pretty big as well, we could talk about. And then I go, I think, on like maybe Video Games Chronicle, and it's MK12, and it's like, oh my God, he accidentally, well, I don't know if he accidentally or he's legally obligated or whatever, but literally just throwing it out there. I feel really bad for Ed Boon because it's been like a wild goose chase the past year where he's always, in fact, hasn't one of the last times Ed Boon tweeted, he talked about how he even like gave the biggest hint of all, saying it's literally either Mortal Kombat 12 or Injustice 3. It's one of those two, and then, we'll tell you later. And there you go, it's MK12, and that kind of, his whole game just kind of falls apart. So, I actually, again, as I've said before, I don't think that's even the right decision. I think they should have done Injustice 3, because we just had MK11, so they're going back to back, right? But as it's been talked about, I think Jeff Grubbs talked about it, it's most likely because of all of that legal stuff behind the scenes that when this game was started, like 3 years ago, that they didn't know where their future was, right? And if you make MK12, you could be sold off, NetherRealm could be sold off, and nothing really would happen. If they were making Injustice and bad, things happened, and their studio was sold or whatever, it makes it very hard to make an Injustice 3. So I think they chose the safe option. I think they chose it almost for a legal reason, right? And so I imagine the next game is probably Injustice 3. So, yeah. And I have no idea. I haven't I played MK11. I'm not huge into it. My wife's played it as well. I've watched the cutscenes before, or even when I've done videos, I've kind of looked at all the cutscenes, but I am not up to speed on my Mortal Kombat lore. I'm not good on that one. Is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League open world? So it sounds like it's gonna be kind of open world. The thing that has always confused me, and I wish that we saw it yesterday, is there's the chapters, right? You can pick to jump right into the chapters for Suicide Squad. So they're going to have something like that, but then it definitely does seem like it's going to be like an open world thing. But I'm not sure. I would have liked to see that in addition to what we saw yesterday, And it's sad Susan Eisenberg is not voicing Wonder in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. She's like Kevin Conroy for Batman. Oh, Wonder, yeah. Yeah, and then you have Wonder Woman in Monolith's Wonder Woman game. These were all happened so early in the James Gunn process. Does he have to be like synchronized going forward, right? Like that Wonder Woman voice is the voice. So, I don't know. Yeah, open world. Yeah, Suicide Squad versus Avengers. I made the video yesterday. I made the Suicide Squad video today. And it's mainly negativity towards the game. I don't think anybody can deny it. Even people that are excited for it. I think to look at the landscape, you can't say the majority are thrilled with what we've seen so far. So I think you have to say that. I do think there's some very worrisome signs, the like battle pass, live service kind of thing, even the shooting element of the game. But at the same time, some people are still very excited for it, and I just want to make it clear for those at home, like, that's fine. As I've always said time and time again, you be excited, you be not excited, you do you. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to tell you what I think, and then you can do whatever you want. So I have seen probably like 20-30% of people just like turn their backs and say, I'm not getting this game because it looks like this. I've seen that, maybe 20-30%. I've seen maybe 20% say they're in love with it. Okay, not that big for maybe either side. The majority of people I have seen say, I am not thrilled, but I'm still going to get it. I think a lot of maybe people kind of in my circle, right? We're not all that thrilled, but we're, it's Rocksteady, or it's a game we can play with our friends, or, whatever the reason, your individual reason may be. People have those reasons. So, yeah. Titan Gamer, what's up? Hylian Soldier. I forgot to say hi. I think Rocksteady will do a good job, though. I mean, they revolutionized the superhero genre with the Arkham series, so I really hope. Yeah, and that too. I mean, there's that trust, right? There's the trust in Rocksteady that they can do it, and I don't blame people for. I think that's kind of valid. I don't know how many people that worked on all 3 of their Arkham games are still there. You got people leaving. It's just a different kind of game. I said it in yesterday's video. I still think you can see like their kind of magic, their gold with like the storytelling. I still think you can see that. And I think that probably will be in the game. I'd imagine there's a certain bar of quality that the story at least has. The rest is really a coin flip. Really a coin flip. So, yeah, WB Montreal is working on a single-player DC game. Hopefully, it's in the model of the Arkham games. Yeah, and that's different than. So I think that's the game that the studio that isn't making or didn't make Gotham Knights. That's what they're making, because I think the team that made Gotham Knights, they're working on another cooperative like game. Pretty darn sure. Pretty sure that's the way it breaks down. The game looks like a major upgrade compared to Gotham Knights, though. Depends on the person. I think there's some people that really like it. It depends on. I think in some ways, well, I don't know. I'm not a fan really of either of the combat styles. I'm not. Yet again, not to say Suicide Squad's combat style is like atrocious or anything. Again, it reminds me of like Sunset Overdrive, which is not atrocious at all. It's been 8 years and the gaming industry has changed. It sure has. But the thing with the gaming industry, well, really every industry, movie, games, whatever, it takes so long to make these things most of the time. Maybe not for like some films, right? Some films you can get it out quickly. But like some, at least for games, you're working on it for so long that you start working on this game. Think 2017, 2018, you're working on Suicide Squad. There's a lot that's changed. Like a whole shift of anti-live service, which was really like 2020 on. And you were already, not just for them, a lot of games, you were already 2 years in. So you can't just use that's 2 years. That's a lot of time to pivot. So I do think people maybe forget that, right? That the gaming industry does change, and it changes, I would say, rather fast. If there's like a example that you put on like a pedestal, both good or bad, right? You throw tomatoes at them. That happens extremely quickly. Things can Hogwarts Legacy can change the industry in a day, but have a ripple effect, like for it to have a ripple effect, that takes a while because games are already going on. It's only the games that are now starting up. They can learn lessons, right? And stuff like that, but it takes a long time. Gameplay looks super fun, but we'll see. Yeah, I can see people liking the gameplay. Like I said, I think it could be very fun with friends. I don't think I would enjoy this game by myself. Now, you have the bots, but I don't think I would enjoy this game by myself. So, yeah, I love Sunset. Yeah, Sunset Overdrive is a great game. I think the reason, like, I talked to Troy, right, former developer of Hogwarts Legacy, last week, and he had kind of said something that I think a lot of us had thought for a while, and this is regarding Hogwarts, but I honestly think it's this way for everything. It's very much about name recognition, like it really is. So I think a big reason why some of these non Batman, Spider-Man for like Marvel or DC, a reason a lot of those characters don't happen is just because they're not very confident on selling them. That's literally what it is. So we had that talk for Hogwarts Legacy, but I think you can apply that for like anything. So one of the greatest things about Gotham Knights is that you can play without online connection. Yeah. But okay, so yes, that is a positive, and it's a huge negative for Suicide Squad. I'll give Suicide Squad a positive, though, with what I talked about this morning, that crossplay. Thank you. Every game, and there's always the debate, was Sony the ones, holding it back? Whatever. No matter which side you're on. Every game should have crossplay. It should be the way it is. Maybe some people can't afford all the systems. I very much understand that. But when a game comes out, you should be able to play it with anybody who has that game, no matter what device they're on. So I'm very glad that this has it. I think this is the fastest game to show transition. Is that accurate? Fastest game to show transition. I don't know what that means. Like the fastest time it was shown off and then the game came out? That's kind of true, but they've shown it before. But I don't know if that's what you mean. I have no faith in WB Montreal. Yeah, WB Montreal, I wouldn't say is like the cream of the crop when it comes to it, but what are you gonna do? Who do you think Rocksteady will add as playable characters? Good question. So probably, here's the thing. I feel like this almost opens the door, the people that'll say, can you play as the Suicide Squad? Or, you can play as the Suicide. Can you play as the Justice League at the end of this game? And I'd always said no. I still think it's no, but I also wouldn't be shocked. Like, if this game lasts for, like, years and years and years, which I don't think it would. But, I don't think it'll actually happen like that. But, if you did it like that, maybe you could actually play as some of the Justice League members. I think you'll probably go for just other Suicide Squad mates, but I wonder if it opens the door to Justice League. I don't know. Could we get Poison Ivy in Suicide Squad? I was talking about this with Sway and King Greek on my second channel, and it does seem like Poison Ivy will be in this game. So yeah. Because Poison Ivy can come back from the dead. Yeah, they just announced the news going around today because of the FAQs of Suicide Squad. The biggest thing that's like on IGN, as on all these headlines, is you need an online connection, right? Very negative. Now, I will say it is a negative thing. Like it's odd, right? Because I'm trying to make fun of game journalists for focusing on the negative, but it really is a negative, and it really is one of the bigger things we found out. But when I was reading it, because I was doing a video on it, when I was reading it and it said crossplay, honestly, I was half expecting it to say no. And then, will it have crossplay? Yes. And I was like, whoa. This may be the biggest story of the entire thing. You know what I mean? And it's a very big positive. So, most positive thing from the SS trailer was definitely the story. It looks very compelling. Yeah. And I think that's where I, myself, have the most confidence still for them, is that the story will be good. So, I heard you can play as Wonder Woman. Where'd you hear that? Maybe. I'm getting Suicide Squad day one. Has some issues, but I'm not going to diminish it for me entirely. The story looking great and interesting, and the graphics are good too. Yeah. And, it only being on next gen, like, hopefully it runs well. Hopefully visually, frame rate wise, right? Bloodsport would be pretty cool. No, it was just a game 2 weeks ago. Now it's getting its own. Hogwarts. Yeah, I think it's probably the fastest thing. If you believe that rumor, going on the Hogwarts wagon really quickly, the sales, the 12 million, insane, absolutely insane. So bravo. I knew it was going to do well, really well. I didn't think it was going to do that well, to be honest. But yeah, the rumor of the Hogwarts Legacy show, it probably is one of the quickest. I think some movies can come out and like just blow up, and then like you make really quick decisions. Like I think Megan, right? That Megan movie comes out maybe like 2-3 weeks later. They announce that there's a sequel, right? That they're immediately doing it. So you have that. But yeah, in terms of a game comes out, does like literally insane, and then immediately you get a rumor of a show. That's probably the fastest, because you think of like God of War, Twisted Metal, even the thing like Life is Strange is still supposed to get a TV show. Boy, how that will go. You have all those things happening, and that took, like, the Life is Strange rumored show. I mean, it's not rumored, actually. The Life is Strange show is supposed to happen. That took like years, like 5 years to even start that. So yeah, I think Hogwarts is most likely the fastest game turned show. Sorry about that, buddy. I'm so caught up in Suicide Squad, I forgot that other games exist. Don't forget, I know Suicide Squad is obviously a big theme, and we're talking about it. If you have any other things you want me to talk about, I'm a very open book and pretty knowledgeable. So I do think we can talk about anything you want. Suicide Squad is gonna be the biggest flop of 2023. I think oh man, I was gonna say I think Suicide Squad can outsell Gotham Knights. Problem being, we don't know what Gotham Knights sold at all, literally at all, which kind of scares me. And we may not know what Suicide. So actually, that does scare me, because Warner Bros. Seemingly, when things do really well, like Hogwarts, they're very talkative, about it. Gotham Knights, I think I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Gotham Knights sold like 5 million. I think that's kind of reachable. It's still in the Batman world. It was the first thing like this in a long time. So I really had confidence that it could do it, and maybe it did. Honestly, it really could have, but we don't know. And so for Suicide, I think Suicide Squad would outsell it. You said biggest flop of 2023. Hogwarts. What else? Yeah, the Dead Space remake from there was like a story about the Dead Space remake that it didn't do too well, I think, with sales, at least compared to Callisto Protocol. But this is a remake versus a full-on new game, so that's not that big of a deal. I don't know what else would be expected to do so good and then not. Starfield, no matter what. Maybe Redfall is the only... Like, Starfield is going to sell or people will play it. Insane. Zelda, Diablo, Spider-Man. I don't know any other game that the expectations are sky high, or they were at some point or whatever, and then they come out and it doesn't do it. So maybe it's Suicide Squad. Could there be a major plot twist in SS that expands the franchise or reboot and restart the Batman Arkham trilogy? Well, that leak that was confirmed to not be true, right? That leak was that like a Flashpoint thing would happen. They could do it, and maybe it just doesn't go the way the leak said. They could still do it. So it's possible. Hey, let me just ask, quick ask of you. If you haven't left a like and you're enjoying the conversation, please do. Helps the video now, helps the video later. Katana and Enchantress, that would be sweet. Have you played MK9 or 10? I played 11 when it came out, and I think I rented 10, MK10. I've played kind of here and there. Maybe even 9. I've played at least 2, if not 3, Mortal Kombat games, but I'm not, I'm a general fan of the visceral combat, let's say, but I'm not like a diehard for, honestly, not even really Injustice. I did play both of those, but let's see. Kill the Justice League is way too good to be just a flash in the pan. Yep. I hope Hogwarts Legacy gets the player's choice. Oh, it better, because it's not going to win anything from critics, right? The fans are literally going to have to will it into existence, which I've been saying. For all of you who are buying Suicide Squad, who's wanting to squad up with me full time, I have one friend. Yeah. Hey, Jammy Dodger, maybe this is a good opportunity to say, and this is something I want the Discord server to evolve into. Well, number one, I've said, like, I definitely want to play it with people, when it comes out. So add me on PlayStation, add me on Xbox, all that stuff. But we have a Discord server for those that didn't know or haven't joined. And as we get close, like, I like how it looks. It's very clean, I think. There's not too many channels in my Discord server. But I can see it evolving where when a game like Suicide Squad comes out, if there's people that want to, like, buddy up, I'll have, like, a tab for that, and people can go and you guys can play with each other, not just with me, right? You can make friendships outside of that. So I want the Discord server to do that, and not just for Suicide Squad, for any game. So, it's not something that's on my server right now, but it's definitely something I want. So that kind of just jumped out because, that is a genuine thing that I think the Discord server of mine will help people do. So if you want to join, it's going to take you guys to join to, create that community. But that'd be a lot of fun. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is going to be my game of the year. See, I never like to say myself. You can say whatever you want. I never like to do stuff like that. There's games I can say I'm, like, extremely excited for, but I never like to say, what's going to be, because you don't know. You just don't know. Oh, man. I won't say my controversial statement. I have a game of the year right now. Like, if I had to, like, what I've played, only what I've played, I have a game of the year. And I probably can make a top 5 list, like, already. And it's maybe not what you guys expected it to be. So when it goes into the rest of the year, there can be games that just, like Resident Evil 4's remake. Resident Evil 4 is one of the all-time greats. It can be just as good. And there can be some games that surprise you, to be honest. So, yeah. I'm starting to think the story leak is true. Here's what I'll say about, so that darn leak for Suicide Squad. I think it will be insane if it's actually true. Because number one, I hate it. I hate that story leak. Number two, a former developer, like confirmed former developer, literally they laughed. They did, like, laughing emoji, or they said the studio's laughing at this leak because it's so not true. If that person lied and it's actually real, because that person, real or fake, fed even more into the fact that the leak was so garbage, like so bad in terms of what would happen in this game. I think the guy literally said, like, don't worry about it. Like, don't worry about it. So if it turns out to be true, number one, that guy's finished. He's done for because he's just a liar. And number two, or he's maybe defending the studio, right? He's still lying. And number two, oh my God. Oh my Lord. So I really hope that is not true. Did we all just forget about the CW Gotham Knights show? I certainly pretend like it doesn't exist. Yeah. Can't wait for some more Cal Kestis. I got a video for you, Titan Gamer. It'll go up either tomorrow or Sunday. It's a Jedi Survivor video, and I'm very excited about it. I'm excited for Jedi Survivor as well. Hopefully a lot of videos I can make on it in March, and then obviously it comes out in April. Still a little bit more time, and, they're taking a little... the IGN first thing is good because we are getting information, but, Wonder Woman game is my most anticipated game from years. Yeah, I actually had, you know what? With Hogwarts out, because people would always ask me, right? Like, long term, what's your most anticipated game, like, going forward in time? And it was always Hogwarts for years, for years. It wouldn't be the number one of any individual year, except for this one, because, it wasn't coming out. But if people said, what's your most anticipated, in the future, it was always Hogwarts. Number two was always Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman would be that. I'd throw in games like, I don't think this will be like a top 2 or 3, but other Judas, the BioShock game, whenever that, whatever happens there. Trying to think of like like a Spider-Man 2 obviously is high up there. Things like that. Maybe a Ghost of Tsushima 2. I've always had Fable for Xbox is one that I'm really, excited for. So yeah. Yeah, it's possible Warner Bros. Doesn't want to talk about Gotham Knights' numbers. I don't know so much about the gaming industry, so how rare is 12 million copies sold? It's incredibly rare. Number one, if a normal game gets 12 million, you're looking real good. And that's a lifetime. If you sold 12 million, you're looking great. If you sold 12 million in just like the first couple of weeks, 2 weeks, you are on cloud nine. You are living well. So, yes, that's incredible for it to do 12 million. That probably beats 80 to 90% of games that have come out in the past year, 2 years, already in the first 2 weeks of it being out. So it's incredibly good. No, not that freezing. I feel like WB flipped the coin with crossplay and hoped they would sell double. Yeah, and I said this in the video earlier today. I think crossplay alone really helps this game because, well, maybe it does, and it's a conflicting thought I have. Maybe it doesn't super help it, but it certainly doesn't hurt it. And I made the point in this video earlier today, like if you don't have crossplay, I think that could hurt you because if you have a friend and you want to play it with them, and then you say, well, it's multiplayer, and it's multiplayer heavy. And you say, well, I want to play it with my friend before the game comes out. And it doesn't have crossplay. And you have 2 different systems. It's possible. I don't know how possible, but it is definitely possible that both of you don't buy it for that fact alone. And if that happens in a couple different circumstances, across the world, you may lose a couple 100,000 unit. Like, I don't know how widespread that issue would be, but I just think not having crossplay really hurts. And you could argue having crossplay would really help because now you may want to give this game a chance simply because maybe your friend wants to get it and you don't, but they want you to, and you're all right, I'll buy the game, we'll play it together. Maybe it's fun to play online with you. And maybe they just sold an extra copy than they wouldn't have. You know what I mean? So I think it's a positive. Yeah, DC 10. That's true. I mean, I think somebody yesterday debunked the leak and kind of went back and looked at what the leak said versus what we saw in the trailer. The leak got a lot of things wrong. So I don't think the leak was right. Which did I like more? Well, 11 I played the most, but I think 9, because I think I rented 9. I think maybe I liked 9 the most. See, I told you it would sell more than Pokemon. Dang, I should really listen when people tell me things. No, you guys are right. I mean, the people saying that Hogwarts was going to do, because I think I said like 3 to 5 million in the first week. It probably was more like 7 or 8 million in the first week, and then like 4 in the second. It was probably somewhere around there. So, I said 3 to 5. Some people said, maybe 10 in the first week, and it's probably closer to that than, what I thought. Can I wait for RE4? Yes. Last night, I didn't like Suicide Squad, but 24 hours later, I slept on it, and thinking about it a little more, I kind of liked it now. Yeah, I think people are going to kind of go back and forth. And you, either way, I think people do, including myself, you rush to judge something, both positively or negatively. So, as the days go on, I think people will settle, and they'll settle on a verdict of, okay, I'm for sure not feeling what they showed, and I'm like definite on that. Or maybe, they think the other way. What? No. Hoping Conroy Batman will be playable after he's brought back for... Yeah, it's possible. Like I said, with the earning characters thing that they said, that you can earn characters as DLC, I think the Justice League is at play, potentially. Like, it's an option for us to talk about. I don't think it's all that likely, but I think it's definitely possible. So, for sure. Hope RE4 doesn't suck. I don't know why it would. I really don't understand how it would. It's already out. RE4 is out. RE4 remake, obviously not. Is this official? What's official? Hogwarts selling big? That's official. I saw a Jedi Survivor banner at Disney World. Well, firstly, congrats on going to Disney. Secondly, if that's how you saw it, that's sweet though. I think. Well, once you delayed Jedi to late April, I don't think it was gonna get, moved again. I guess PlayStation posted a video about Suicide Squad. Apparently, the map size is twice the size as Arkham Knight. Oh my God. Maybe we should take a look. My Twitter's gone. I've been sent to the Shadow Realm, but I can still look at it. So, let's see. There's a story on Abandon. Don't tell me Hassan is back. Don't tell me. What a guy and what a studio of Abandon. I was so into it, and I still am to a degree. Oh yes, episode 450, where the team celebrates the launch. Oh, maybe that's PlayStation Access. I don't see the Suicide Squad thing. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Suicide Squad. Let's see. It's 2 times as big. That's ginormous. Oh, and the link. Let me show you this. This is pretty funny. Hold on. Let's see. This is fun. Okay, look at this. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League's Metropolis is more than twice the size of Arkham Knight's Gotham. So that's huge and that's big. And full of detail that makes it feel truly alive. More gameplay details. Let's see if it does it. It takes you to Sackboy, a big adventure Gran Turismo racing suit. It's the wrong link. Dang it. Oh man. I wish I could see what they call it. Full of detail that makes it feel truly alive, more gameplay details. I wish I could see how it's truly alive. All I see is Sackboy. I guess that's truly alive though. That's funny. Do you think Wonder Woman can be on the same level as God of War games from 2018 to 2022? I think so. Yeah, it's got cross talent. I wouldn't be surprised if she moves similar to Kratos, which is funny because, God of War, the style of gameplay that God of War did, I do love it. I don't think every game needs to do it. I'm a little worried that every game is going to copy it because it's really not necessary. But I do like it. Because then you have Dragon Age, right? The leak of that Dragon Age gameplay, very close to God of War. And then it's possible she plays like it too. But yet again, they had the free flow kind of combat in the Middle Earth games that I think worked really well. And I think her moving like that would actually be better, to be honest with you. So, would you rather get beaten up by Kratos or electrocuted by Thor? Electrocuted. You could shake off electricity, right? Probably. I think I'd take the Thor thing because Kratos. Oh my God. Yep, I agree. Monolith and their Nemesis system they have. I don't know how they would work in a Wonder Woman game. I think the Nemesis system just at its core is just people remember you, right? Or villains remember you. They have a hierarchy and they can one up each other and all that kind of stuff. You can swap that with any backdrop. It doesn't have to be orcs, it doesn't have to be anything like that. You could do any kind of villain to make it work. So I think that should be totally okay. Honestly, Suicide Squad has been my most anticipated game since it was announced, solely because of the fact that it looked really similar to my favorite Xbox exclusive Sunset Overdrive. Yeah, there's Sunset Overdrive again. Sunset Overdrive is a great game. I'm actually going to be playing Sunset Overdrive maybe somewhat soon for my 3rd channel. Do you think Superman will be a character that we have to pay for? Well, like I said, I will say I don't think you'll be able to play as the Justice League. I think they're in play, as in it's possible, and we can have that discussion now that they have said there can be more. There's more than just those 4, but I still don't think the Justice League will be them. Have I gave up hope for Sly 5? No, honestly. I think about Sly maybe every 2 days. Honestly, no matter what I do, and it's because I create content and stuff, every couple days I think of Sly Cooper. Whether it's Thieves in Time or a Sly 5, or I think back to 2 or 3, my personal favorites. So no, I will never give up for. And the day, hopefully one day eventually, if they if they do a Sly 5, I will be there. And I will say I led the charge for a long time. So let's see. I saw an Ezra Miller comment. Gotta read that. Hey, Alex, has Ezra Miller's past actions altered your opinion on the Flash movie? Personally, it hasn't for me because I love the Flash. He's my favorite superhero, so I'm going to watch it, plus Keaton. Yeah, and, well, a couple things. Number one, yeah. Well, I mean, a couple things have happened in my life. Number one, I'm less into movies now than ever, literally ever before, like, period. So I see maybe like 6 to 10 films a year now over the last couple. And back in the day, back when I was like 18, 19, 20, 21, I'd see like 40 to 45 movies a year. I would say I was quite active. So that's changed in me. I don't like going to movie theaters. I've said that kind of back and forth. I won't say the reason why, but so like things have just changed where I don't really want to see as many movies. So a lot of them are just passes for me. Like I don't care. And then, yeah, I mean, I think Ezra Miller is, I'll play nice. I don't think Ezra Miller is a good person literally at all, but I've always said this. I'm going to be very consistent. It's just my opinion. And if you want to see a movie, it's the same thing with like Hogwarts Legacy. If you want it to affect you or your viewing experience, go ahead. If you don't want it to affect you, go ahead. I don't think by watching this movie, you're enabling Ezra. I think Hollywood has enabled Ezra. I think everybody there is pieces of stuff. So I don't think it's a good situation literally at all. But I'm not here to tell you to see a movie or not see it. You know, I mean, that's up to you. So I'd say my opinion on The Flash is not changed too much. But yeah, I definitely have a less view. Is I can't stand to look at Ezra Miller. In the same way I can't stand to look at Amber Heard. Like I will not watch Aquaman 2 because I'm not going to watch Amber Heard act. I'm just not going to do it. But that's fine. Who cares? You know what I mean? That's my life. You could do whatever. Like Shao Kahn once said, it's official. You suck. Have you played Like a Dragon? No, but Scotty Fitness. Are you still there, sir? I don't know if you know or if any of you know. I made my third channel, Podcast Now Back to the Past. Links in the description along with my Discord. And I started Yakuza 0. So I started my Yakuza journey 2 nights ago. 2 nights. And I'm like 6 hours in, and I'm feeling great. So I'm a newfound Yakuza fan. I will be playing all of them. Not in a row, because I think I would I'd jump off a very tall building if I did that. But yeah. So I'm going to be covering so when I make Yakuza videos, they'll be on my third channel, which, in case you guys don't know, Podcast Now Back to the Past is what it's called. And so I'm going to start in chronological order, so Yakuza 0. But I did not play Like a Dragon. I'm going to just, every couple months, I'm going to play another, whether it's the mainline Yakuza games or Judgment, Lost Judgment, Like a Dragon, all that kind of stuff. I'll be getting to them for sure. But bigger isn't better. Yes, bigger isn't necessarily better. I agree with that. I just think if you're going to do a game like this in the DC universe, why would you use characters that casuals don't really want to play as when they could have had us play as the Justice League? I think it's because, so like, I do generally agree with that. I think it's just because they want to make the Suicide Squad popular. Like, I think that's literally the goal, is to make the brand of the Suicide Squad popular. That's it. That's the only reason. So yeah. Let's see. Back and forth with that. I hope Suicide Squad's open world is alive like Arkham Knight and Gotham. I think it'll be alive. I am a little worried with how many enemies are on screen at once. Not really. I mean, like, it's fine. There's a lot of enemies. There were a lot of enemies in that gameplay showcase thing. So, we'll see how much there is to do. When they met Batman in the previous trailer, they met him indoors, so they might fight indoors as well, not just flying all the time. Right. And that would change the fighting style, though, wouldn't it? Because they fight very floaty and very is much like Sunset Overdrive. Does that work in an enclosed space? We'll find out. We will know soon. Superman game should redeem Rocksteady after this game if it flops. Yeah. I think somebody's gotta, right? Again, it takes a long time for things to kind of make its way down or up the grapevine of the gaming industry. Somebody should be making a Superman game at this point. Okay, even over the last couple months with James Gunn and restarting, without Henry and all that stuff, I think it's time. Okay, so if a studio hasn't started it as of 2 months ago, I got a feel in my heart that somebody's making a Superman game right now. Like it's gotta happen at this point. So, was God of War Ragnarok the final one in the franchise? No, just the Norse. Yeah, they're still gonna. They won't stop. How you say your name? Robbie or Ray? Yeah, I would say Rabie. Rat. I don't know how to say your name. I don't know how to say it. I'm not even gonna try. There really hasn't been any good movies lately. I think, I try to watch a couple film channels. So, like, there's some, like, under the radar. Like, everybody talks so highly of The Menu, the one with Ralph, good old Lord Voldemort. I think there's movies every so often. I think if you dig, there's probably some really good movies. But a lot of the mainstream ones, I'm not really into, or I'm not into anymore. I will tell you, this next stretch, Scream 6. Oh, thank you, Lord. Scream 6, cannot wait for. John Wick, cannot wait for. I'm really excited for the Mario movie. And beyond those three, I have somewhat interest in Dungeons and Dragons, but I probably won't see it in theaters. I have somewhat interest in Shazam 2, but I probably won't see it in theaters. What else? Trying to think. Mission Impossible, I'll see over that's in the summer. Fast 10. Fast 10, you got me. Okay, so I'll be seeing Fast 10 immediately. Hope they take God of War into ancient Egypt or Japan. Yeah, they got a lot of possibilities for God of War. Rocksteady was going to do Superman, but WB said no, and W Montreal was going to do Batman Beyond, and THQ was going to do Gotham by Gaslight game in 2018, but they could not get the rights. We got robbed. Yeah, there's been a lot. I mean, like the What If book that somebody should write on canceled WB games would be enormous, because there's just a history of all of these things happening. So, yes, I'm still here. Very good. Well, there you go, Scotty. So I'm going to have Yakuza stuff very soon. Do you think Justice League members will become playable at some point in this game? No. That's just a prediction. I think it's possible. I totally think it's possible. But I will predict no. Podcast Now, Back to the Past sounds like a good movie title. That's why I picked it. These are like Back to the Future. So, what's up? And VRW. What's up, buddy? Do I think WB Montreal are working on an Arkham game? No. I think the Arkham games are going to have a hard reset. I don't think there's going to be any other Batman games in the I think there'll be another Batman game down the line, 5-10 years, whatever. But it won't be Arkham. And it won't be Kevin, so you have to find, a replacement. So, yeah. I got to go, but I'll be sure to join the Discord server. Yes. Oh, I appreciate it, Jammy Dodger. Yeah, join the Discord. Subscribe to the third channel. Continue to expand the Podcast Now empire. But no, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for chatting. Just hope WB Montreal won't be the one making a Superman game. Yeah, I mean, like it sounds rough too. Like I don't know what redeems. I mean, look, I'm old. The way I talk, and I think people get rather confused, right, is I am a bit negative at times, or I think I just kind of call it for what it is, but you can call it negativity. So when I say like I don't know what can redeem WB Montreal, you also got to recognize or know what I'm thinking, where it's like I'm always going to give their games a chance. Like the next WB Montreal game, I'm going to play it. I'm going to cover it just as much, Like, yes, you maybe go in thinking a little bit differently, but I want any game that I play to be good. No matter if the company's track record is incredible or if the track record is garbage. I always want the game to be good. So yeah. And that goes for like The Last of Us Part 3. Like, I was not a fan of, and I'm sure we're going to get into those conversations over the next couple of years. I was not a fan of the story decisions of 2 at all. And I'm going to replay it. I'm going to give it another chance. But I still am into the next one. I'm actually extremely excited. Life is Strange. I hated Life is Strange 2. Life is Strange True Colors. Different studio, but still. I love it. I love Life is Strange True Colors. So it's possible. Could care less about Shazam 2. I think it looks fine. I didn't mind Shazam 1. Hope we get a John Wick video game soon. We did get the, what was it called? There was that John Wick game, but not in the way that maybe you thought. Transformers and Indiana Jones. Yeah, both of those I'd also say with Shazam and Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I don't think I'm going to go to the theaters to see either Transformers or Indiana Jones. I haven't seen a Transformers movie since the Mark Wahlberg era. But I will watch. I'm sure I will watch. It looks like The Rise of the Beast looks pretty okay. Indiana Jones, I'm just so worried. Like, it looks good. It looks good, but I don't know. Keanu Reeves has said that John Wick will go on as long as people watch him do it. So I think they'll keep going. I don't think they wanted to promote Suicide Squad. I'm guessing they wanted inferior playable characters against known godlike enemies, so the stakes and difficulty would be higher in the minds of gamers. That's a good excuse. That's a good reasoning right there. Green Arrow game, yeah. As I said this, I think in a video that you'll see tomorrow on my second channel. I think a game like Wonder Woman is so important because it'll just prove that you can do a game. Like, I mean, we still need that Superman game. But at least Wonder Woman will start to prove, hopefully, that it doesn't just have to be Batman. That you can maybe go into Green Arrow or, and for Marvel, a game like Amy Hennig's Black Panther and Captain America game, that may show people, okay, we can do a Daredevil game, right? You need some of these games that are still big characters, but not the big characters. You need them to do well. Because I think that will send the message that, okay, we can do some of these odd characters, like not super odd, but we can do stuff that's not just the main group. So, I'm texting my wife real fast, sorry. Let's see. I have mixed thoughts on Suicide Squad from what I've seen yesterday. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Yeah. Yeah, I try to just be realistic, and I just try to tell people what I feel, I want Skull and Bones to just come out so I can stop hearing about it. Yeah, I mean, it coming out would definitely shut me up after I cover it, of course, right? I think I just answered that one. Didn't even watch Bumblebee. Nope. See, what I've done over the last couple of years, like I've gone through eras of my life. Growing up, I wasn't even too much in, like we didn't have a lot of, I know so many people will say, they grew up without a lot of money. I mean, neither did I, we really didn't have a lot of money. I had like the PlayStations. We got like the Wii, we had like the Game Boy and stuff, but I wasn't really into gaming too much. Then I became more and more into it. When I was 12 or 13, I really became part of it. But then I got more into movies, I would say, or movies was the thing for me growing up then, right? That was like my main thing. And then when I was like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I actually watched probably way more movies than I played games. I just didn't have time. If you've been around with me for a long time, you may have heard me tell these stories. Back then, I would get so many games, but I would never play. Like, I didn't play Mass Effect 2 and 3 until like 3 years after. It took me forever because I just never. I'd play the first like four. Witcher 3 was another one. That was 2016, right? Or no, 2015. 2015. I played it. I played it for maybe like 8-9 hours and I put it down. And I didn't pick it up again until last summer. summer of 2022. No, it was 2021. It was almost 2 years at this point. So, yeah. So I've gone through different eras. Like there was a big stretch of my late teens, early 20s where it was definitely more movies over games. And then January of 2020, right before the great stuff around the world hit, I switched back and I started and now I've just gone into games, and I don't think I'm going to really get out of that. I think gaming is for me because of the channels and stuff. I also just enjoy games more than I enjoy movies, like, period. So, yes, I do know Mangold, the director of New Indiana Jones, will direct, and Logan was so good. So I have somewhat faith they'll be able to do it with Indiana Jones, but it's still Disney. Are they just going to kill him off at the end and replace him with his daughter, right? Like that's what's most likely going to happen. Like that's so lame. So, yeah. Superman game is difficult to make. In my opinion, they have stakes. What are you going to do? Enemies with kryptonite weapons. There's a reason we still don't have one. Yeah, I think the age of I think there's the games that have like people that fly really nicely and like everything kind of like blasts by them. I think it's possible nowadays to do the speed thing, like the travel. I think you can do that. The enemies, yeah, you'd have to give them all things that can weaken Superman. So they'd all have to be from like a Brainiac or whatever. They'd all have to have abilities or weapons that could hurt you. How you would deal with like super speed in combat would be pretty difficult. So I think there's still some issues there, but who's gonna figure it out? When are you gonna figure it out, right? You just might as well go for it. Just go for it, you know. Let's go, DJ Steph. What's up, buddy? W Montreal could redeem themselves with a great Aquaman game. Yeah, give me an Aquaman game. I'll take that all day. Maybe I say it kind of sarcastically, but I'm dead serious. Give me an Aquaman game. I love the idea of water. You guys know that. What's your opinion on a Hogwarts series that HBO Max is thinking of greenlighting? Yeah, so I said this yesterday, but let me just quickly mention about this HBO show for Hogwarts. So it's positive and negative. I think, again, the fact that it's so big that you want to like spin off of it, and you're probably going to greenlight a sequel like a week ago. That's great. All that stuff's great news. I would say I don't think it's a good idea to make Hogwarts Legacy a TV show. And I said this in yesterday's stream. I think you're missing the point of why Hogwarts was so big if you do that. Because Hogwarts was big because it's hard to do it as a show in general, right? But Hogwarts puts you into that world, okay? And it's just something different. It's not Fantastic Beasts. It's not Harry Potter. It's just a Wizarding World thing that was pretty good, if not better than that, right? That's all it was. So that's the message. The message should be that if you make a good Wizarding World story, you don't necessarily need any ties to Harry Potter or Fantastic Beasts. You don't need that. That should be the message. I think their understanding of it is, now we need to have everything come from Hogwarts Legacy. No, I don't need Professor Fig in a show. I don't need that. You know what I mean? So that's something to, it's a pro-con. I think it's good that they're thinking about it in general, but I don't think that's the right message, because I think the message should be just make a TV show. Just do a Wizarding World TV show, pick an era, and do it. That's it, period. And make it good. And if it is good, people will watch. That's the message that Hogwarts Legacy sent me. I think that is the message. Maybe Warner Bros. These are the same people that keep Ezra Miller and Amber Heard around. So maybe there's a problem, I don't know. Well, Parker, at this point, I've always just called it the thing. What do I say? The thing around the world. I say it so much. Other people that have watched me, that have been on my live streams and stuff, they say it as well. So I really appreciate that I've kind of made it like a thing. So I'm not going to change that. So yes, I saw Hogwarts Legacy or Magic Base. If they're making Wonder Woman game, they sure can Superman. That's true. That's true. If you can do a Wonder Woman game, Superman's not that far off. Good point. Would you press the red button, you get the perfect Aquaman game, but Amber Heard is reprising her role? If I could press, you're saying if I have a button, and if I press said button, I'm going to get just a masterful Aquaman game. But Amber has to be Mara in it. Yeah, I do it. I think I do it. I would do it and then just really talk about how much I don't like her. But then talk about how if you close your eyes and just remove her from the game's perfect. That would be how I would make videos on it. So, yeah, I think I would do. What would you guys do? I like to give it back to you guys. If you could, well, I don't know how many people care about Amber Heard, but I think I would take that. So, Superman's powers would need cooldowns. True, they would. True. Howdy, Alex. Hope you're well. I'm doing good, buddy. How about you? I have a feeling Aquaman 2 is going to get scrapped. Well, did you see the rumor from viewer Anon that said the test screenings of Aquaman 2 are not good? Not good at all. So I'm glad to hear it. Like, to be honest, I mean, oh man, maybe controversial, but no, I'm not a fan of it. So to hear that it's not doing, and I love Jason Momoa. Like, Jason Momoa looks awesome in Fast 10. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer for Fast 10, but I'm all in for some Jason Momoa action, okay? So I love him, but and I feel bad for him. But didn't he stick up for her? Wasn't that like a real thing? Jason Momoa like put his job on the line so that they wouldn't fire Amber. So he has made, if that's true, he made a real stupid decision. Real stupid. But besides that decision, I really like the guy. Is she even allowed to do stuff? I don't know. She's still an Aquaman too, so. Well, I don't care about Amber Heard. I don't support her, but I sure don't care about actors. Most movies have a bad person in the main lead, but people just don't know it. That's true. Hollywood is full of just really. I mean, that's just an issue in general, right? That just goes to don't ever let Hollywood tell you what to do. Like, ever. Don't ever let them lecture you. They are, if anything, they're below you because a lot of them are just such bad people. Not all of them, I'm sure, but that just really goes to that message. When you watch movies and stuff, yeah, even games, anything that you consume, you have to kind of just admit to yourself, and then what you do with it is up to you, right? But if you think about it long enough, you're going to think, oh, there's probably somebody that worked on this game or made this movie that if we met in real life, we'd hate each other. I'm sure every single thing has that. And it just becomes second nature where you just don't care anymore, right? It's only when it becomes a big problem and becomes a big controversy, like Aquaman, or Amber, Ezra, J.K. Rowling, a lot of WB things, isn't it? Johnny Depp. But anything, Disney, Marvel, like anything, any game company. So, Jason said he loves Ezra on his post and Instagram, so he got really a lot of haters right now. Oh my God. You have to stick together in Hollywood, and they'll all die together, I suppose. The conspiracy theory side of me thinks that competitive video game developers and publishers started the Hogwarts Legacy controversy to drive sales. Maybe. It's possible. I think in general, like, sometimes conspiracies like that are self-inflicted, like, on purpose. I don't know why they would do that. They got people like me in a lot of trouble. Who defended them so much, specifically for Hogwarts. They got me in so much trouble. So, I don't get the hype for the Fast franchise. I get it. I love them. I've always, like, I think I started liking the Fast and Furious franchise off of kind of jokes. Like, everybody always kind of joking about how bad they were. And my mom really liked them, I think. Like, maybe she liked them because they were bad, and it kind of just... I'll tell you this. My mom and I, and we talk, all the time, we will make fun of Fast and Furious all the time. Like, we will just bag on it. But I do genuinely believe that she loves it. Like, I believe she actually likes those movies, and she knows, and I know, I love those movies as well. So there's just something about them that I understand the issues with them. I laugh when people make memes about how stupid they are. Like, I laugh at that stuff, but there's just something about them that I love. I don't hate Vin Diesel like a lot of people, I suppose. Maybe that's one of the reasons. I think they tell pretty solid stories. There's some cool characters. The action is great. There's some genuine emotion. I think there's some actually very well put together movies in the Fast franchise. 5, really 5 on. 8 was pretty, or no, 9. 9 was pretty weak, but 5 was amazing. I really love 6 and 7. 8, I think, is my second favorite. I'd say 5 and then 8. Because 8, people just don't get, and that was the first one without Paul Walker. I think 8 is really actually good. Like, it's a good film. And I think Vin Diesel's got the most, like, range in 8 out of any of the movies. So, yeah, I could talk about Fast and Furious literally. Remember, with all my channels, right, because I've made 3 channels now, doing more videos than ever before, I'm really trying to separate, well, we can talk about them in live streams, but I really am trying to separate where I talk about things. So, like, I will do a Fast and Furious 10 review. It'll be on my Podcast Now Plus is where that'll be. So, yeah, the only movies I will cover on Podcast Now going forward is Scream and Pirates of the Caribbean. Those are the only 2. Any franchise, those franchises in general, I will cover here. Any other franchise that I'm interested in, including like the Last of Us show, I'm doing weekly reviews. That's on Podcast Now Plus right now. When Twisted Metal, that show comes out, I'll do reviews on Podcast Now Plus. So any game turned movie or show will be there. Any movie in general, like maybe I'll do a John Wick review, that'll be there. And I think that will work because I think they do pretty good views on my second channel. Then it makes this channel just games. And then people that come in, oh, you cover Scream for some reason, whatever. But that's how it's gonna be. In case you guys didn't know that, a lot of you guys are probably the diehards, but that's the way I'm. And then Podcast Now Back to the Past, my third channel, is on any game that's not new. So the past, so Yakuza, Oxenfree, I don't know, Kingdom Hearts eventually, like any game would be there. So yeah. Let's see. But there you go. There's my reasoning for Fast and Furious. And a lot of you guys stuck with watching the live stream in the last 2 minutes that I went off the deep end. Well, some people said that DC and WB drama is more interesting than the MCU right now. I think I would take talking about Amber Heard all day than some of these MCU things. Yeah. So, yeah. That's true. Robert Downey Jr., but I don't think Robert Downey Jr. did the stuff Ezra did. Or Amber. We could go into what Amber did, but I don't think we should because I don't think she should have a job. So, a guilty pleasure, maybe, but I genuinely think there's some good Fast and Furious movies. That's not a guilty pleasure. I will fight you on Fast 5 and 8 at least. I love 6. It probably goes 5, 8, 6 for my ranking of Fast and Furious. I'll fight people that those are good films. So, you should watch them. I mean, why not? You're only going to lose time. When are you going to do a Scream video? I got 2 tomorrow, Sunday. So 2 in a row. And then next week, I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to probably do a live stream for Scream 6. I'm so scared because I could get spoiled. I'm really scared, honestly, and that's why I haven't done one yet. But I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to lock comments behind something, and I want to do a Scream live stream. So Scream stuff this weekend. Really, you're going to probably see a Scream video every day for the next month, because of 6 coming out. So if you don't like Scream, watch the other ones. Don't just ignore the Scream. Same thing for Hogwarts. If you don't like Hogwarts, I'm trying to cover literally everything. So we'll probably go another 5-10 minutes, and then I'll head off. I think DC is gonna. So if you have any questions or even yes/no questions, just let me know right now. I think DC is gonna take the upper hand now, and Marvel will have a steady decline. Their last film, I think depending on how these DC move, I think it could just be superhero stuff in general could really be on the decline if we're being honest. Not necessarily Not saying you have to hate them all. Again, like, this is totally whatever your opinion you want it to be. I think there's fatigue. And I also think some of them are just not very good. So, like, both of those things combined, I don't know. I think it's possible DC can kind of, like, come out. You have, like, the Batman and stuff that did really well. But it's possible they're all kind of going. Because I don't think Shazam 2 is going to do well at all. I don't even know if The Flash is going to do all that well. I think it'll do well, like, the first week. But then I can imagine it completely falling off a cliff. I think, like, Mission Impossible outsells it. You know what I mean? I really do believe that. Ray, what's up, buddy? Hope you guys had a good show. Yeah, it's been fun. We have had a really nice Suicide Squad leads to movie talk, and I even got to talk about Fast and Furious. I mean, it's been fun. Isn't it odd when DC was a mess with DCEU, MCU was at its peak, and when MCU starts to get bad and DC is going up? Yeah, it's ebbs and flows, right? It's possible. I'm somewhat interested in Scream 6. Well, that's good. I'm very interested in it. Oh, my God. Robert Downey Jr. was caught on camera with a girl, let's say. Oh, my goodness. That would be pretty bad. Okay, that'd be pretty bad. Look, people can change. People can definitely change. Ezra seems like they're going to change, but we haven't really seen it. So that's something that's yet to be decided. I can tell you right now, Amber Heard has not changed a bit. So I'm fully up for redemption stories. And I think I hate cancel culture. I hate it. So I'm not trying to cancel Ezra or Amber. If they want to change, change. And you're welcomed back. And Ezra really may be. But there's another wrinkle. This is one of the final things I'll say. The other wrinkle is we still live in a world of cancel culture. So that hurts my perception of these people. Because when you have people that do stuff like those two, and they don't really change, or maybe Ezra is changing, but maybe not. But then when you have Johnny Depp still on the sidelines, that's not fair. So while I do believe in redeeming yourself and being able to come back, and I would say that for Ezra and Amber, you also live in this world where Gina Carano and Johnny Depp, not that they're the same kind of situation, but Gina and Johnny and just many people on social media, actors, actresses, when they get canceled, well, where's their second chance? Why can't, when Amber Heard is the one who does it and Johnny Depp isn't, why is he still blacklisted? So if we can fix that, if we can get him and just pretend like nothing ever happened with Johnny Depp, then I'll welcome Amber Heard back when she redeems herself. That's totally fine. But we don't live in that world right now. I think we're starting to. People are starting to wake up. But I think we got another like 5 or so years before things start to. So that's you know what I mean? It's tough because I definitely don't want to come across like, because I really do. I hate cancel culture. It's garbage. But until it's fixed, there's not much you can do. Would love a Scream MT. Oh, man, I want a Scream show so bad. And maybe you do a Scream show after Scream 7. Maybe if it's every year, Scream 5, 6, 7. Maybe after Scream 7, you do a TV show. So, celebs are like mafia mobs in the 1920s. I've been watching a lot of mafia videos. Not the game, but just people that were in. Michael Franzese, if you guys know who he is. I've been watching a lot of that. I used to like the first 3 Scream movies, but stopped watching after that. I don't like too many sequels. I think 4 is better than 3, personally. So, maybe watch one more Scream. So, yeah. Yeah, I think Ezra has a chance. Ezra, I think, is just mentally unstable. Like, period, So I think there's a chance at redemption there. But Amber is not. Amber Heard is still the exact same. The success of Hogwarts Legacy is great because people need to stand up and say, "Hey, stop bullying us." Yeah. And you can do it in different ways, right? You can be aggressive. You don't have to be aggressive. You can say, "I'm going to try to ignore the loudness of all this stuff, and I'm just going to buy the game, and I'm going to enjoy it, and it's going to be successful, and they're going to keep doing it." And that's a way of sending a message. So, Alex, I got a hard pick. Batman versus Superman versus Thor. Batman versus Superman every day. I really didn't like Thor. I really didn't like Love and Thunder at all. So that's not even that hard. I'm not one of the people that looks back. So, when everybody was saying, like, remember when there was the era where everybody said Batman versus Superman was actually really good? You guys remember that era? So I never thought that. but I was around the internet when it happened, and I went back and I watched the director's cut, right, like the full thing, and I was like, okay, I want to like it. I want to be part of this group that says, no, you guys just missed something. The movie's actually good. And I watched it. Still, it's not a good movie. To me, it's not a good movie, but it's not awful. That movie is not awful at all, but it's not a good movie. So I really tried to be part of that movement that pretended like it was always good. And I'm not, again, it's their opinion. And if you think that, that's totally fine. But I wanted to be that, and then I tried it, and I literally couldn't do it. I couldn't. But I really didn't like Thor: Love and Thunder, so I still think Batman vs. Superman is better than that. Hogwarts better have a DLC, though, because I'm not going to because it's not going to sit well with anyone. The ending? Yeah. I'm going to probably do a live stream with the Hogwarts creators, and maybe one of the last streams I do of Hogwarts for, until the DLC or a sequel. That'll probably be next week. We'll do a Hogwarts stream, and I want to talk about the ending. It's going to be a spoiler show. So, yeah. I think DLC is also kind of necessary, Alex. If I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking, I think DLC is pretty necessary. Yeah, it's maybe fake. It's maybe true. Marvel destroyed their franchise with Endgame. Kind of ironic, really. I don't know how much Endgame destroyed it. I think Endgame, for a lot of people, was just a natural conclusion. And maybe they didn't intend it to be that way, but it most certainly was, right? And that's not a bad thing in that sense. Just in the idea, it's literally called Endgame. It's the end of that phase, kind of, even though doesn't Spider-Man technically also part of that phase? It's the end of the phase. It's this goodbye to this massive threat and some of these characters. It was a natural point, I think, for a lot of people that aren't too into it. It was a natural point for people to jump off. And I think that's totally reasonable, and that's what it was. Yes, we're thinking the same thing. Okay, good. Alex, I have a video that should go up on Hogwarts about the villains the next couple days where I talk about that potential issue that we're both thinking about. So that'll be fun. Watch that video. Darth Bane trilogy. Oh, that would be sweet. Can we get Knights of the Old Republic remake? Like, can we go back to that, please? There'll be a sequel for Hogwarts for sure. I think there will. It's when you have to watch all the TV shows to understand. Yes, yeah. I think when they started to incorporate the TV shows too much and make everything required viewing, that's when everything kind of fell. When things are starting to fall apart. For sure. All right, guys. Well, man, I did not expect to talk about Marvel and DC here, but yeah. Thank you so much for being here. We got videos coming on all the different channels. I actually have a video on Back to the Past. For Last of Us, actually, coming out soon. So there'll be videos throughout the entire weekend. Next week, I may do 2 live streams. I want to do a Scream-specific one, and we may do a Hogwarts-specific one next Friday. But I love these sit-down ones. If you guys liked if you're new, if you like just kind of going back and forth with me in the chat, I really like these kinds. They do less viewers, right? But I like doing it. So we will do it again. Maybe a couple weeks, maybe 2, but then when Scream 6 comes out, it'll be a lot of Scream live streams. So, we'll be back, and I'll do more of these sit-down things, and, yeah, we'll have some themed. I'm going to do a Suicide Squad themed live stream with guests very soon. Scream live stream, Hogwarts, probably Jedi Survivor. I'll do a live stream with some people before that game. So, big stuff. I want to have guests. I want to do themed live streams. I want to do these sit-down streams where we talk about anything. I kind of test my knowledge, or you guys test my knowledge. So, yeah. So I really appreciate it. I'll stop ranting now. Thank you all so much for watching, and stay tuned for the 8 videos or whatever I'm going to do on my channels over the next couple days. All right, see you.